I'm Corentin Guinez. Welcome on the new Coach Dave Academy Live Guide. Today we are here for the week 5 of the Falcons podcast series. We are with the M4 GT4 on the new Navarra track. So first, as usual, we go with the hot lap and then we talk together about the details about the combo. So yep, let's get started. Okay guys, so if we go for the lap around, Navarra is the M4. So as you can see, very long straight line for the start finish straight. And then we have this first king, but the idea there is just to make sure you can try to sort of get as close as you can from the right, but at the same time you need to make sure you can reach the very left before the second king. Otherwise, you will be a bit in trouble for the braking, because the idea for the big braking, which comes just after, is to make sure the car remains as straight as possible, I would say, during the braking, even if the car is never really going to be straight. But to have an efficient braking, the idea is to make sure you have the less steering angle possible. So as you can see, just when I'm getting past this, I guess there is a different tarmac made at some point. So you have this line, and yeah, it's not a white line. So yeah, you have this line as a reference, and then when I'm getting past this thing, just going on the brakes, we'll just put the overlay so then you can see it better. Yeah, it's better now, I guess. So as you can see, then just when I'm crossing the line, just going on the brake, trying to get more pressure at the beginning, but then when I'm getting close of this right one and I need to get more rotation, I'm just releasing the brake. And then as you can see, when I'm getting past this thing and the car is getting more straight, I would say, when I'm getting close of the curb, then I'm just smashing the brake, or at least trying to put more pressure. As you can see, I'm just avoiding the curb on the left, because you will see around this track that the curbs are pretty arched, because we have the 3D curbs on this track, and the track is overall really bouncy, so it's really it's better just to avoid curbs, and also make sure to know where are the big bounce, the big bumps, sorry, over the track, around the track. So yeah, then when you are braking right there, just releasing the brakes at some point, jumping to second, and then as you can see, just steering until I'm reaching the apex. So nothing, no magic around this corner. Really just need to make sure you are not turning too early, because then you will get the sausage, and then this is not what you want to get a good exit, because as you can see, you need to put the throttle in really early. So if you are going on the sausage and at the same time putting the throttle, you're going to lose a lot of time, and at the same time having the car in a very difficult position, I would say. And then main target is to on the exit really open the steering quickly, because you don't really want to get any wheel spin, because of course you need to go early on, early full power as well. So yeah, if you're still having a decent amount of steering angle, and then you decide to go full power, then you will get some oversteer. And then as you can see, steering fully open using all of the track on the exit, and then we would go for the king. So for this thing, nothing to worry about. I guess it's less bouncy than in real life, so it's not really an issue. Just try to make sure you can sort of cut as much as you can this king, because it makes you gain some time. It's not massive, but yeah, it's still a bit less than alpha 10s, but it's still what can be needed for a quali, for example. Then put the car on the right. Try to use as much track as you can. Of course, avoid the grass. And then when you're getting close of this curbing, just release the throttle, go on the brake, and then very important to make sure you're not going too fast on the entry, because as you can see, it's really bumpy. So if you arrive with too much speed, then the car will bounce too much, and then you will get thrown out of the line. So as you can see, just on the brake, trying to not being too not going too deep on the brake, so then you can keep all of the rotation on the brakes. And as you can see, when I'm reaching the middle of the corner, at least I'm getting close of the second half. Then just going on power, trying to find the rotation, but at the same time need to find the momentum, because as you can see, it's going uphill. So you will lose, of course, some speed, and at the same time I need to get the momentum to reach the very right side of the track, so then I can get a nice entry and a good momentum for the left corner, which comes right after. Then as a braking reference, just using of course it's going a bit far away from your vision, but you're still able to see the curb. So basically when this curb you are getting past the curb, then that's the time you have to just release the throttle. As you can see, getting past the curb, now releasing the throttle, and then I will just go on the brake. Just try to make sure I'm not getting the curb as well on the right side too bumpy to have a decent braking. So just making sure you stay on track. Then I think I stick to third. Yeah, I do stick to third, because second actually makes the curb being too slow mid corner. So it's just better to stick with third, especially with the M4, which has a good torque. So as you can see on the brake, then when I'm getting close of the end of the curb, just completely really not completely, but just starting to release the brake. And then the idea is to make sure I can get the curb on the left, but not the inside with the red part, because this actually makes the car bounce when you are getting back on the track from the red to the curb. There is it makes a bounce, because of course the curb is not flat on the left edge of the curb. Then just pretty much fully flat out on the exit, steering open. Then main target is to make sure you're not staying for too long on this curb, because it's really bouncy. So yeah, very important to make sure you are not staying for too long on the curb, and at the same time, very important to make sure you minimize the steering angle for this right one, because it's really bouncy. So being flat out, having a bouncy car, and then at the same time putting too much steering angle can result into a spin or having some oversteer moment. So yeah, just make sure you can have a decent amount of steering, not too much, but at the same time just make sure you're not going as well too wide on the exit of this right one, because I guess you can get a silly off track if you do that. For this one, this braking, just make sure you can put the car in the middle, the curb in the middle of the car. Just make sure you're not braking on the curb, at least with the left wheels. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty much the same as what I said for Western 2 or Turn 3, like just after the two kings. Just make sure you're not doing that mistake. Then on the brake, if you're on the brake, because you arrive with quite some speed, and the braking, braking distance is really short, so you have to make sure you brake quite a lot at the beginning, and then being very quick on the way you release the throttle to get the rotation. So as you can see, just going on the brake, quickly releasing the brake when I'm getting close of the end of the curb, steering to the right, and then as you can see, just keeping third, just trying to make sure the car remains stable, and then when I'm getting I'm getting close of the apex, just going on power, just trying to make sure I'm not being too aggressive, but then on the exit, just trying to make sure the steering is open enough to go basically full throttle, getting the curb on the inside, just avoiding the sausage. So once again, always avoid the sausage. And then for the exit, just make sure you're not running too wide. So basically, you have to stay on the it's the green and white curb, but do not go on the left of this curb. Otherwise, you will lose some time. Then we have this straights, so nothing to worry about. Just preparing the next corner, which basically almost leads to the second half of the corner. So from now you're entering the third sector, if I'm not saying anything wrong. Then just looking at the 100 board, so that's going to be your braking reference. So as you can see, just smashing the brakes 80%. Then I will just stay on the brakes until I'm getting into the corner, dropping to second. Then going into the corner, raising the brakes to find the rotation, and then as you can see, hitting the apex, going on throttle, trying to make sure I can get the exit sort of tight, because as you can see, it keeps going. You have still a long right after this one, and it's not that wide, the exit actually, so you have to make sure you are not running too quick on the exit. Then with second, just trying to make sure you can open the steering so then you get the best traction possible. Then just leaving the curb, going to the right, we'll get this curbing actually fully flat. And then main target is to make sure you can stay to the right, beginning of the curb, going on the brake. So as you can see, pretty much the same amount of brake. I think with the M4, I'm used to brake a bit more. In the past weeks, I told you to brake a bit less, but for some reason with the M4, it doesn't seem like it has changed from the last season. So actually, I think I'm braking more with the BM. I don't know if the update made no difference on the car, or if I'm just driving different the AMG and the Porsche, but yeah, that's the way I work with the M4. So then beginning of the curb, on the brake, we'll drop to second, then just hold the brake until you reach the apex, going over the curb. So as you can see, I'm getting a fair amount of curb, even if I think you can get more curb, but at the same time, getting more curb means that you are basically lose a bit of stability on the car, and then it makes the process of leaving the corner, getting the traction a bit more difficult. So yeah, sometimes, yeah, maybe to make sure you have a decent lap time, even if it's not the optimized lap time, it's better sometimes to avoid to take the very inside of the curb. So as you can see, early on throttle, when I'm getting into the corner, going on throttle, trying to quickly open the steering. You can use quite a lot of track on the exit, at least as soon as the left wheels stay on the curb, you're fine. As you can see, quite some margin, so it can still be better, but yeah, just leave the left wheels on the curb. Then as you can see, I will just stay as much as I can on the right. Then when I'm getting close of the beginning of the red and white curb, we'll just go on the brake, just trying to not brake too much, because I don't want to get into the ABS and then just struggle to get the rotation. So it's very important to make sure you stay smooth, especially in these last two sectors. It's very important to make it smooth. And then as you can see on the brake, just holding the brake until I'm getting the apex. So just even before the apex, actually, just before hitting the curb, just stay on the brake, and then I just put the throttle early on to find the momentum, and at the same time I will keep a bit of throttle so then I can keep the car stable through this left one. As you can see, I use quite a lot of curb, so yeah, just make sure you can leave at least some throttle so then it leaves the car stable, because if you do on off on this curb, the car will just have some oversteer and then can have some understeer or stuff like that. So yeah, it's very important when you go over a curb like this, and it would be the same for the one before, to just keep the same amount of, at least try to not going to on off on the inputs. Then for the exit of this one, it's pretty much the same as the one for the, it's not the back straight, but it's the it was the straight the corner just before the straight. A few corners before. Just do not leave the green and white thing, the green and white curb. Otherwise, you will just lose some time. The car will get not edgy, but will just struggle a bit to get the speed on the exit because of the different sort of elevations of the curbs. So as you can see, just leave the right wheels on the very edge of the white and green curb. And then as you can see, moving to the left, preparing the next hairpin. So basically getting past the beginning of the curb, and then we'll just smash the brake. So as you can see, when I'm getting past this beginning of the curb and not the actual white parts, when I'm getting past the red and white thing, the red and white curb, then just going on the brakes, drop 2 seconds, just waiting the right time to steer to the right. We'll just keep the brakes until I'm reaching the apex, and then on the apex, just smashing the throttle, trying to find the rotation. Good thing is that you have the exit of this one is quite wide, so it's really easy to open the steering and then get the momentum. So as you can see with second, quickly open the steering, and then I'm using all the curb on the exit, leaving the right wheels on the red and white curb, and then I will move to the right, just trying to prepare the last 2 corners, even if this one is pretty much flat out, so it's not really a corner, even if it's a corner, but it doesn't have the difficulty of the proper corner. Then as you can see, just cutting a lot of grass for the king, because I want to make sure I'm as much as I can on the left to prepare the entry of the last corner. So as you can see, a lot of grass actually. I guess as soon as you leave the right wheels on the white line, it's fine. But I guess then if you put the right wheels on the red and white curb, then you will get a slowdown or an off track. But yeah, just be greedy, but at the same time, do not be too much, because then you will just get punished. Then out of the king, putting the car to the right, and then just before I'm entering the curb, so this time I'm taking as a reference the white one. Then just a tiny bit before getting past the white curb, just going on the brake, EV on the brake, trying to slow down the car as much as I can. Then I will drop 2 seconds. Then when the curb is ending on the right side, I will on the left side, I will just start to steer to the right, drop 2 seconds, and then just make sure I can get the apex, and then quickly open the steering. On the exit, as you can see, just leaving the brakes until I'm reaching the apex, or at least getting into the corner, and then early on power, trying to find the momentum, going uphill as well, so very important to get the momentum early on. And then for the exit, open the steering, get the right wheels on the red and white curb, and then we're done for the lap around Navarra with this very long straight. Okay guys, we're done for today. That was the week 5 lap guide of the Falcon Tire Sports Car Challenge at Navarra with the M4. I hope you like this lap guide and you learn from it, of course. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Coach Dev Academy channel and join the Discord server if you have any questions about all the work we are making. And I see you for week 6. Bye bye.